Now at 6, frustration mounts as a search for a pair of Conway killers continues without answers. We are continuing our coverage on breaking news we've been staying on top of all day for you. This is WMBF News First at 4. I'm Eric Weisfeld. We have an update to a major story we've been following for more than a year now. The entire state of South Carolina remains under a state of emergency this afternoon. Just into the studio, the 2 NASA astronauts who have been stuck in space for 9 months, just minutes away from returning to Earth. A PD daycare employee reportedly involved in a bombshell abuse scandal is now clear to return to the scene of her alleged crime. Well, today marks 5 months since Hurricane Helene, and it may be hard to believe, but crews are still working to remove debris in parts of Charlotte.
Triple digits? How about a triple threat? She sings, she acts, and she grew up coming to Myrtle Beach every summer.
What do you think is the reason why he is faring so well at this point? Do you think it's because she is new? Do you think it's because she is young? What do you think is the reason why the AP is calling it so early? Right now we are expecting Nikki Haley to take the podium any moment there in Charleston. And with the polls now closed, we want to give you a more in-depth perspective on the presidential race and several contests happening here at home. And there's so much more going on behind the scenes to make this tournament possible. It really is like a well-oiled machine. Stressed at work? Take a micro break. Don't want to work out? Take a micro walk. Feeling sad? Share a micro joy. In that warm weather, I'm happy to report, not going anywhere yet.
Yeah, moving back in.
175 million people we're talking across the country under some form of cold weather alert. We're getting our first look at some of the devastation left behind from yesterday's powerful coastal storm. We were the first online and on the scene for this story. We're going to continue to keep you posted through up-to-the-minute push alerts. Tonight we're asking, how do prosecutors determine if a murderer should die? This comes as South Carolina's Attorney General is pressuring the Richland County Solicitor to pursue capital punishment for a murder earlier this year. For the first time ever today, we heard from the man who admitted to burning a cross in his Conway area yard facing his black neighbor's home. We have an update to a major story we've been following for more than a year now. Embattled Myrtle Beach pastor John Paul Miller has been indicted by a federal grand jury on charges of cyber stalking his estranged wife, Micah Miller, and making false statements to the FBI after her death. There we go. We're seeing it happen. Williams and Wilmore have been living and working on board the ISS for 286 days. There goes the parachute. What was supposed to be an 8-day mission was extended after NASA deemed the Boeing Starliner they rode up to space in unfit for the return journey due to the propulsion issues and helium leaks. We are watching that landing live right now. Heroic, amazing. Just a couple of the words Senator Lindsey Graham and Congressman Russell Fry used today to describe the actions of our firefighters and first responders as they battle that Carolina forest wildfire. Just before 8 o'clock, Horry County Fire Rescue confirmed that blaze near Covington Drive has now spread a little more than 2,000 acres, while crews have not been able to contain any more than that 30%. 500 firefighters from across our state, part of North Carolina as well, have been working around the clock. They're trying to get this under control. We have live team coverage for you tonight on the concerns residents have with today's high winds we've told you about, to the effort to collect donations for those first responders. As of just a few minutes ago, the statewide burn ban was lifted for all but 2 counties. Georgetown and Horry counties remain under a burn ban until further notice. Less than an hour to go now until the first of 2 back-to-back first alert weather days. Sorry, I'm just practicing.
He's so dramatic.
I'm going to be stepping outside shortly.
So dramatic.
So true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it does get a little bit colder. Nothing like that.
Well, the snow, not just a sight to behold for us, but for our 4-legged friends as well.
Yeah, that's right. And our pets got, well, at least my pets got to get out and experience all the fun. However, as you're about to see here, I don't think fun was their word of choice.
A whole different story when you go to my dog, because she is just like her daddy. There's Beatrice. She says, "My name is Bennett and I ain't in it." She is staying inside. This is something you don't see every day. A plane making an emergency landing on a highway. We are talking in the middle of the day.
Good afternoon, country music fans. We thank you for tuning in to your official TV partner of this year's CCMF. Yeah, this one is very important. See this right here? It doesn't matter what color yours is. Triple check that you have your wristband on before you actually head out the door headed here to CCMF, because you are going to need that every time you enter the venue. Cannot ignore the fact that we do have some possibility for severe weather this weekend. So tell us, reassure the people who are out there who haven't left yet to come here, What do you have in place? Is there any reason to worry?
The city of Myrtle Beach and the police department here are the best we've ever worked with, and we work all around the country.
But now you have country music, summertime, and sunshine.
And you have singing and you have dancing, as we saw. And I can't help it, but every time I look at you, right over your shoulder, there is a big old Bojangles French fry basket. You see it?
It is not even 5 o'clock, and this man cannot stop thinking about a biscuit.
I'm not a cake person. I like icing.
Okay.
I don't like it.
I'm the opposite.
See,
I
that's
don't
why
like.
you and I need to get dessert together.
I
love
don't
people
like
you.
icing, but I love like cakes, like chocolate cake. I wouldn't say chocolate cake is my favorite dessert anymore, but like brownies, cookies, ice cream.
Mine, I think, is a Toll House pie. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like chocolate chip cookie, but I think it's kind
Like
of
a pie?
gooey too. Yeah, but it's chocolate chip.
Stop.
I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
So they say practice makes perfect. That must be the case here, because our set here is set up right behind the driving range here, and you can see if I step out of the way that even though round one is pretty much over, they're still going at it, Tegan. Now we know that golf isn't everyone's cup of tea. That's why tournament organizers are offering really far more excitement for you outside the action that's on the links. And that is why we want to keep our live team coverage rolling now with our Ian Klein, who joins us out at the Dunes Club's fan zone. So Ian, what can folks expect to see out there if they're actually taking a break from watching some of the PGA Tour's best? A Grand Strand youth pastor doubles as a YouTube sensation, turning kids into DIY superheroes, one tool at a time.
In honor of Mickey Mouse Day, though, we do want to know, what is your favorite Disney movie?
I will not let you down. I'm going to keep it old school and go with, I think, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
A true classic.
I loved it. Yeah, I still love it so much.
We talked about this off air, though, but what's the reason why? Because I found it very scary, but you had a funny reason.
I remember just growing up and loving all the different dwarfs and the different.
Did you have a favorite one? And what? It's probably Sleepy. I know you love it.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Grumpy and sleepy.
Not grumpy.
Sesame Street, one of the most beloved children's shows of all time, turning 56 today.
We have that in common. The groundbreaking public television show was created by Joan Cooney, a former documentary producer who wanted to make a program that entertained and educated. Her goal was to help underprivileged preschoolers get ready for kindergarten. Cooney teamed up with Muppets creator Jim Henson, who introduced a cast of characters that became household names: Big Bird, Cookie Monster, Bert, and Ernie. Estimates show nearly 80 million Americans have watched since its debut. Look at that, 1969.
Pretty good year, if you say so yourself.
That was good for me. It brought me here.
C is for cookie, good enough for him, right?
C is also for chilly, Jenna. It's going to be cold.
What a transition, Eric. Jeez.
If you could only have one app on your phone, what would it be?
And we expect every single one of you to say the WMBF News or Weather app. We'll take either one.
I knew that somebody was going to want to be the golden child.
You got to stay informed, right? I was going to say my bank app, just so I know what things are. Make sure I'm not floating in.
You're going to check those coins is what he's always going to do.
All right, Jay.
That's also a boring answer. I got to go with Facebook. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I got to go with Facebook. It's the cover-all of everything and everyone. Nice and easy, right there.
Where are your priorities? That's what we want.
Eric says if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Log on to our Facebook page. Let's hear your answer. Well, whether you play the lottery or not, you've no doubt fantasized about what you do with all the winnings, right? Well, it is important to know it's not only about cashing in that check. In this Watching Your Wallet, we take a look at the steps you should take after striking it rich to ensure your winnings don't come back to bite you. You've compared the numbers, checked them again. You have a winner. You're now rich.
Money, money, money.
But before you cash in on that windfall, there are things you should know so your lottery winnings don't make you a loser. First up, zip your lip. This is information you want to closely guard.
Take some photographs of it and put it someplace safe. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to want to talk to your financial professional, your CPA, and your attorney. I would not go telling relatives, I wouldn't go telling cousins or anything to that sort. You want to keep it as secret as possible.
Then you must decide whether you want to take a reduced pot of winnings all at once or spread the entire amount over time.
It depends on the situation, but the higher the interest rates, the lower the lump sum payout is. Okay, so you do a calculation on this to figure out what it is. So if interest rates were back down at say 1%, that payout on $1.4 billion would probably be closer to the $1 billion at that point in time. So now you start thinking, do I want $700 million? Do I want the billion up front? So In most cases, depending on the individual, you've got to assess, can I get that much money up front, or is it smarter for me just to get a paycheck every year for the next 30 years of my life?
Regardless of your decision, you should know Uncle Sam is a winner as well.
The lottery will withhold 25% for taxes. Well, if I already told you you're going to be in the 37% bracket, you're already behind the 8 ball at this point in time. So you got to pay this money into the to the government. Otherwise, you're going to get a big tax bill. So you better not go overspending this kind of stuff. And that's where people start getting in trouble, because they're going out and buying vehicles, houses, whatever, boats, and so on and so forth. And they haven't accounted for the rest of their tax liability.
Dr. St. John says he can't stress enough the importance of not spreading the word. He says that goes for your actions as well. If you start making a lot of outlandish purchases, you may tip off that cousin in the woodwork, for example, who is just waiting to cash in on your financial gain.